Now, the cartoon community asks a very difficult question that is trending around the community of animators, cartoon fanatics. And this question is pretty simple, asking, how do you find Petunia hot? She's literally a pig. Look at her. And that's sort of the question of $1 million question that every cartoonist or fanatic of animation tempted to answer. Yes, I know, it's a very, very difficult question. No, for real, this is actually was trending for a little while, a couple of days. But please do not take this super serious. Some people feel was this is offended. How dare they belittle Petunia? And the creator never meant to be offensive. A fact the creator did post she does love this character. She actually posted she loved her female character to be sort of loony and sexy. In other words, it's not just her. Many people same answer like her, but you get the idea. Just do not take this serious. It's just sort of how the based on the original post was written. It just sort of should have written a little bit different, but yeah, you get the idea in other words. And it was a very odd question, but yet it was a very interesting question because not a lot of people know how to answer this specific question. Some actually do. Some actually have a strong opinion why Petunia became very attractive to a lot of people. But at the same time, you have to realize this is Petunia. She is not the most popular female character in Looney Tunes. In this movie, how the Earth blew up by Daphne and Porky, give her a chance to actually shine, show her who she really is. Because let's face it, Petunia was always shafted because she's probably the fifth or sixth more popular Looney Tune female characters, next to Tina and Lola Bunny, to Granny and the Witch. And yeah, there is not much competition. The only one is basically Lola Bunny and Tina. But yet, Petunia never really got a chance to show what she got, especially the very beginning. Because the very beginning of Looney Tunes, Petunia was there, but let's face it, she just was there to have a conversation with Porky, to be her girlfriend, and that's her personality. She doesn't really have nothing really to do. Every time they have the chance to use this character, is that she gets shafted or cut off. I think the most perfect example is sort of the 20 teens Looney Tunes movie that was sort of like a kind of sitcom sort of take of the Looney Tunes. Petunia reappeared and maybe she had something new to do with her, but unfortunately that show got canceled to do anything new to her. She was sort of introduced and that's it. But even that said, what is that? And a lot of people do have very interesting kind of answers to explain this. Before I do, my name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, to reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going, like to help my channel, pull like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that's fine. If you do, thank you. Because of you, I'm getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And yes, I'm getting close every single day because of people like you. People like, comment, and share. Thank you. Now let's get started off this very difficult question. If it's not a difficult question, is why people think Petunia is hot. Quite literally, she's a pig. Let me break it down this question. Now, how this go down is basically I'm gonna answer the question in my own opinion. After that, I'm gonna introduce a lot of different people's own opinion, get my opinion of that, and in very end, my conclusion of this whole weird question. In other words, now I think the reason why Petunia was sort of kind of be attractive is because she's so different with Lola Bunny or Tina, because let's face it, that's the part of the most two attractive female characters. Even that down below in the comments they point out, well, Bugs Bunny always was attractive, even that he was a cross-dresser most of the time to be more sexier. I guess that's how fanboys became a thing. But out of all that is kind of true. I think this is the reason why they chose her specifically, because they just have no really range of females to choose, and you have Petunia who has quite literally no personality, and I think they decided to give her a personality of this film because she is sort of the opposite of Little Bunny, the opposite of Tina. She's thick, big. She has a sweet personality, but she also a Looney Tune character. She is also unhinged, but at the same time, how you make it unhinged if she doesn't have a point of reference? Because let's face it, she doesn't have a personality. But I think they use that not as a weakness, as a strength. They allow her to re-explore Petunia, who she really is of this movie. But on top of all this, she actually looks like a real person. I have to say this, like cartoon people or live action females usually are portrayed supermodels, and that basically the standard of beauty of females. Always confident, always beautiful, but sometimes lack personality. Not all the times, depends what type of audience you're trying to pitch it, because sometimes they're not the main lead and they're just the love interest, in other words. Sometimes not really fall into Petunia sort of territory. That allow her to be more real, more accepted, more trying to not be sexy, but actually real women do have flaws. Real women are kind of chunky, let's face it. Not all of them, but some of them have kind of chunky kind of bodies, and that's okay. And I feel this is the reason why Petunia stands out a very attractive female for a lot of people, because she is technically more real than Little Bunny. Little Bunny is the dream. Petunia is reality. She is the next door neighbor. She is your co-worker. She is a woman, a true woman. And I think this is the reason why a lot of people relate, love her, and want to know more about her. This is because this is the time Petunia has to shine and show how different she is with Tina and Little Bunny. But to be fair, they don't have a huge net of female characters in the Looney Tunes, and maybe because this is the reason why they chose her. She's the only one who really stands out, that being so different, and I think this is the reason why they chose her, to be honest with you. And also, all her images feels something like a real pic you found on Twitter. If a real person or real female wants to dress up pretty, it would look like something similar to Petunia, in other words. And I think this is the reason why she clicks so well. But top of all this, she has a personality. To be fair, Little Bunny and Tina, two of my favorite female leads on Tiny Toons, not Tiny Toons, Looney Tunes, they actually have different personality, but never really find what they can actually do. They took a little while. Tina, the first try, they understood her. Little Bunny took a little while to figure out, till the 2010s animated version of Tiny Toons. Looney Tunes, actually fixed her. Besides those two characters, she is the longest female character being in the roster, but it's the only time they actually figure out what to do with her. They actually show her, yeah, she's loony, but she's like the closest one of all the female characters to being real. Something like, I think she's level of Bugs Bunny. Like, he is a trickster, but you could see someone in the street acting very similar to Bugs Bunny while being sort of Looney Tune in a way. Yeah, I think this is the reason why she hits so well in the community, and the reason why a lot of people feel attracted. Someone can actually meet a real life. At least that's my honest opinion. What is your honest opinion about Petunia? Why do you think she's real? You feel she's the time to shine being herself? Tell me down below, let me know. Now let's talk about all the responses of this question in the community. Now, the first answer is from Ambro. Pretty much state pretty much what I feel. Is basically her and Bugs always were hot from Looney Tunes characters, in other words. In a way, it is true because both of them are very similar in a way, but yet very different. It's about the confidence, but the only difference is Bugs have this sort of laid back, I do what I want asshole approach, and Petunia is sort of half similar, but she's sort of smart and clever, but has that look, that sort of female look, that sort of smirk, that sort of almost feminine kind of kind of vibe that only women can actually give out. And I feel this is the reason why she elevated to be sexy in the Looney Tune community, or a cartoon community, if you will. And I think this is basically the same reason why people love Bugs or feel attracted to Bugs. That sort of cockiness, that sort of confidence, that sort of, yeah, I know I'm hot, so what? That I think that's the reason why Petunia level up, in other words. Now let's try a different one. Now, this is from Jaden, also responding to this question, but also saying they also forgot another pig, Rosita from Sing, and someone else also mentioned her, but also another pig, probably Miss Piggy. I think there's two female characters. People are just basically kind of comparing to basically Petunia, because there have been other female pigs equally as popular as Petunia, but the only difference is Petunia, this is the first time she actually got the chance to shine on the main line, or the main, basically uh entertainment, in other words, that she is allowed to stand out for the first time. The other two female pigs always been there, especially Miss Piggy, because Miss Piggy, let's face it, the very beginning when she showed up in the Muppets, people drooling all around her, and the reason it's the same reason as Petunia. She's big, she's a diva, she gets what she wants, and she's confident. But she's never fully mean spirited. She sort of doesn't know what to do. Yeah, I feel this is the reason why Miss Piggy always stand out, being a very strong female character. Now next to basically Petunia, who probably be equally strong female lead as a pig. In other words, it's always been kind of like a cliche. Female pigs always been kind of very useful, very well to be represented as a female character. Like, other women relate to Miss Piggy because she's not basically hiding her flaws. That's who she is. And Petunia also kind of fit the same mold in a way. She's still very different, but you get the idea. Different approaches, but always using a pig for the metaphor for a kind of, yeah, this is how I am, not that skinny, I have flaws, but yet they're still very attractive. Another good response is from Jennifer, saying sort of fatness sort of being kind of like a shame over the history, always belittled, but somehow Petunia sort of stands out because she doesn't fit the model like Lola Bunny, in other words. In a way, it's kind of true. I think this is the reason why a lot of people feel that Petunia became more sexier, more realistic, because she is basically more real than Lola Bunny, in other words, at least fiction-wise, in other words. And that's completely true if you read the sort of kind of text that I put on, in other words. Now, this is sort of the last comment of this. The one I feel the most interesting is from Ricky, saying if she was sort of like a half hourglass sort of body type, or stating sexualized, that nobody really make a noise. When she actually is sort of big and thick, then people are talking about it. And I think this is sort of why people basically talking about it now, where you can see his comment right next to me, or right in front of me. And you know what, I completely agree with this, because let's face it, usually normal female kind of characters usually have to be thin a good chunk of amount. In fact, even anime has that equally kind of problem. But I think this is the reason why it works so well. She is against the grain. She is what a woman supposed to look like, at least realistically. Now, where someone you see your next door neighbor, or your coworker, or that person you see in college. In other words, and I feel this is why she stands out so much. How people feel, wow, she actually is a real female character, and I think this is the reason why it works so well. In fact, even the person who posted this question, Eve, actually posts something equally interesting, because she says how I love my female characters to be sexy and also kind of goofy. In the next scene, in other words, that basically telling you off, yeah, they prefer female character with a personality, female characters who actually has more realistically body type. It's okay to be skinny, it's okay to be fat. It's a fat, they more favor the skinny type of lead character because it's more attractive than the big chunky lady. But to be fair, it's okay to change it up. It's okay to be yourself, not words. Even the person who asked that question points it out because a good amount of this is a little bit kind of hate in a way. How dare you ask that question or belittle her? And Eve never attempted to say awful thing. It's more like how she questioned it. You read more on this sort of question page. The more people are basically a little bit angry she asked that question, but at the same time how she wrote it. I kind of wish she wrote a little bit different, or he or she or they wrote it differently. But other than that, this is sort of kind of interesting because it's true. It's sort of kind of true, but at the same time, not really. They attempted kind of to change that over the years, but it's mostly just a little bit, not that major. But we could about to find out the next couple more years if this sort of changes or became sort of neutral. Depends we show you talk how thick the girl or how big the girl she really is in the near future characters. But other than that, do you like how Petunia finally got the chance to shine this time? Because let's face it, the girl always gets shafted, and this is her chance to actually shine. And that's all I can say. I don't know you how you felt about this. Do you think she's sexy? You just glad she's actually noticed? Tell me down below once your honest opinion. Ain't got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.